Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about spacing. Spacing, which is one of the very important topic, and mostly I've seen that a lot of designers are making mistakes on this particular what you could say spacing here, right? So spacing is very important thing, like in the overall design. If your spacing it's not consistent across your UI design, obviously there would be a lot of problems. Not just the numerical values is going to create a more problems in their development, but also your designs will be inconsistent. The visual hierarchy will not be like accurate of and also it's going to create a lot of confusion to the user overall. Okay, so spacing is very important things, and I've seen a lot of beginner designers are making mistakes, or they are not aware of how to use spacing in a very appropriate manner. Now if you ever read the Google material design guidelines or any design systems or any design guidelines of any brand, you could see that they are like using even value spacing number, not the odd value. But if you want to use the odd value kind of a spacing, numerical value, that would be okay, but you should have a proper reasoning for it. Okay, so the thing is that this is here I'm just showing you the even numbers that you can use for your spacing, right? 2 4 8. Now 4 into 2 equal to 8, and then 8 plus 4 12, 12 plus 4 16, and I'm keep adding plus 4 to each value, right? So I'm getting some even value. Now this even value I can use it for spacing, so that like the design should have some consistency, and that value can be used in other user interface design. Okay, so this is the way. Now what are the things you should not be doing is like using some decimal value. Now there are a lot of people are using something like this value, unknowingly they don't know whether they are using it or not. They see in the design it looks better, in like visual hierarchy it's fine, but when like analyzing, when checking the values spacing between two elements, then they figure out that there is some decimal value, which of course will create a lot of problems in the development, but also in the designer level. Now let me show you how to use the spacing in a very appropriate manner. Let's create a frame. So I'm going to use a frame over here, is Android large, because I'm an Android user, I'm using Android phone, but you can use any frame over here. Okay, so here in the Figma, like I have said, like mostly the designs are using a Figma tool. So obviously when you just create a first frame, so you have to set a guidelines over here, or kind of a grid layout over here. So for that, just select the frame and then click on the plus sign, and I'm going to use the column grid system. The number of counts would be 4, because it's preferred to use a 4 column grid system in the mobile layout. I will change the color to something else because I don't like red, but you can just leave it as it is. And also for margin, now here the margin, now if I give something here 10 20 16, you could see there is a margin left and right side. So from this point I have to use a appropriate spacing over here, right? So you can consider margin as spacing. Also the padding is going to consider as a spacing. Even the gutter, you can consider gutter as a spacing in between these columns. Okay, so here the margin. So if you ever read the Google design like material design guidelines, you have seen that they prefer two values for the layout, grid layout margin, specifically for the mobile. That is, the values are 16 or 24, right? So they prefer 16, but you can use a 24 or even less than 16. It's up to you, but it should be consistent across your UI design. So here I'm going to use a 24. Okay, 24 would be the margin. Now this would be the margin. Now I will open the ruler, and I will put the red indicator over here, the line that gives me a guide, right? Okay, this ruler give me a guide how to place it, and I will hide the grid layout, so it will not create any kind of kind of visual problem while designing anything, right? So there is a spacing, so I'm using a 24 here, 24 as a margin for this grid layout. Okay, now let's say I want to give a heading over here, so this is going to be heading 01. So the font size would be something I'm going to give 32, which is of course an even number over here. So let me give the bold, this would be the bold color. Okay, now this is the main heading, right? So let me retype and make it main headline. So this is the main headline. Now another this would be the page headline. Now I want to give a section headline, so there will be a section headline, Okay, the spacing would be 24 pixel. Okay, again I'm using even number, not just spacing but also for the font size you can use a even number, that is preferable. So again this the same formula you can use for your font size as well, like 4 plus 4 8, 8 plus 4 12, or plus 4 plus 4, or even you can use plus 2 or plus 3, plus 4 plus 2 plus 6 something, but it should be a even value. It will be very convenient for you to like follow that the values across your UI design. Okay, so this would be a section heading. I'm going to use a medium for ease. Right now, main headlines, section headline, and then there is be a body copy. Okay, so body copy, for body copy I'm going to use a plugin called plugin and content reel. Okay, content reel is one of the best plugin you will find in Figma community, and I will definitely encourage you to install this plugin on your Figma tool. Okay, so for this I'm going to use a lorem ipsum, of course. This copy and paste, done. Let me reduce the font size. So I'm going to use for the font size for this body copy is going to be 16. Okay, let me use content reel again. I need more content here. Plugins, content reel, and then where is the lorem ipsum? Here it is, lorem ipsum. Okay, it's not having. Okay, fine. I can duplicate this value again. Let's close this plugins over here, copy and paste, done. Cool. Okay, 16 is there, medium is there. Let's make it regular and just reduce the color a little bit. We'll make it grayish. 38 is. I think it's look for it. Now here the problem, what will happen if you not follow a design consistency or the spacing value over here in an accurate manner, right? So here you could say the spacing is something, spacing is 28.7. Of course this is going to be very bad over here, right? Again here is spacing 23.28, right? How I'm just checking the spacing. So just select the elements and hover the elements that you want to spacing from here. So this is the element body copy. I want to check the spacing between the section headline and the body copy. I will hover the mouse cursor on top of this section headline and press Alt on Windows. I think on Mac it would be a command, something like that. This could be a command or something. Okay, so here 23.28 is the spacing, which of course I don't want this decimal value over here, right? The first thing you need to think about is this here, the y-axis. You can see the y-axis value is in decimal value, right? I want to make it something 80, right? So it goes up. Let's extend this container. Again this spacing, now their y values, again there is a decimal value, right? I will just remove the decimal value from y-axis. Okay, now again if I check it again, now 29 is fine, 23 is fine, but again the values are not even, those values are odd, so I need to make it even possible. Okay, so it's a very good way, or it's kind of a very like a proper way to lay out your structure is like the spacing between your main headline and section headline should be larger, and then you have to follow this the spacing between these two things will be larger, and then section headline from your body copy should be a lesser than the spacing that you have given between both headlines. Okay, so for example, let's say I've given the headline the spacing between the section headline to main headline should be something around 32. Okay, so what I will do, I will make it 32. So again I'm using the process following here, plus 4, or you can let's say for this for the sake I am going to give a 24 here, right? 24. So the spacing between the main headline and section headline is 24. Now from the body copy to the section headline, now this body copy, it's like more related to the section headline and shouldn't be like more than 24 pixel. If I make it more than 24 pixel, again it will create a lot of confusion to the user. A user won't be able to understand whether the body is a part of section headline or it's a separate entity altogether, right? But as a designer, you know this body copy is a part of section headline, so here you have to make the spacing a little bit smaller compared to the top spacing. Okay, so here what I will do, first 24, I will reduce this something to 20. Okay, so 20, or maybe I will make it to 16. Okay, now as I make it 16, again I can even make try to make it more consistent. I can try to make it more minimized, like 14. Let's say I will make it to 12. Okay, now see 12 makes sense, right? If when I made the spacing between section headline and body is 12, now I'm able to understand this is the main headline, of course, and this is the section headline, and it actually, and the body copy is related to your section headlines, and section headlines is related to the main headline, right? Now same thing I can follow over here. Just select the whole like elements to text section headline, and selecting both the elements and shift A to make it a auto layout, right? And then again shift A with the main headline, auto layout. Again, this is the auto layout. So here you can see the spacing 24, and from here you can see the spacing is 12, right? So I can copy and paste it over again. Now from here to here you can see the spacing, right? So same thing you can follow over here. So in this way you can create a very consistent spacing in your across your design. Same thing you could follow here somewhere else also, right? From desktop design or mobile design or smartwatch design, spacing is very important, right? Spacing creates a visual hierarchy, and if the spacing are inconsistent, and if the spacing are creating a lot of problem, like the values are in decimal points, or the spacing are not related, or it's kind of a very confusing spacing you are adding in your design, so ultimately user get confused, and overall you also get confused, like what exactly it's happening over in your UI design. So here is the spacing. It's a small demo, but there are a lot of things you can think about the spacing. It's really important. So I will encourage you to try it out with different things. So for example, let me give you here also. Let me ungroup this thing. So for example, I want to give here this image here, right? So for image, what I can do is, like, let's put a rectangle box here. Okay, rectangle box, 312. Make sure your width, height and everything shouldn't be a decimal point, right? Okay, I have given the spacing and everything. The axis is also, y-axis is going to always give the decimal point. Okay, so this would be an image for me, right? Let me use a plugin to add some image to add an image. So I'm going to use a Unsplash plugin, which is again freely available on Figma community. So I'm going to use animal, right? Let's say fox. Cool, nice. Let's say 120, sorry, 200 word with the height. Okay, cool. Give me the radius, corner radius, 12. Even is it like, it would be very good for you in each and every value, whether it's a corner radius, a border area, whether it's spacing, whether it's a font size. It is very good approach to use even values, because again it's like make your design very consistent across your platter. Since I'm using 12 pixel over here as a border radius, right? Same 12 pixel I can use for the font size, same 12 pixel can be used for the section heading. Now, like, you can see this 12 values is actually, it's making my design much more easier for me, right? So here, so I have added the image over here. From here to spacing between the image and the section will be, I can give a 12 pixel. Okay, cool. I'm giving this 12 pixel, or even I can make it for 16. So here 16 works better. Now from image to body copy, I can give it 12. Now again there is a y value which is creating some decimal points. Now here I can make it 12 pixel. Now it looks very good, right? Make it auto layout, auto layout, auto layout, right? Same thing. Now in this way you can create a very better and good looking design, right? Select this one and just adjusting this thing, right? Hide the ruler. Now if I play this artboard, preview this artboard, see, design looks much more much more consistent. I'm able to understand that section headline, the top one and second one is both are different, right? The body copy is related to the image, and altogether there are two section headlines, and this two section headline is a part of main headline. So I'm able to understand the visual hierarchy, and for me even it's a very easy to actually analyze or scan the copies very easily, right? So in this way you can create a very good and spacing, like spacing in your UI design, and you will never get confused over spacing. right? So this is the way how you can use spacing, and let me know what do you think about spacing. And if you are if even after watching this video, if you feel like if you are again struggling with the spacing, let me know in the comment section. You can also reach me out over LinkedIn, because I am on LinkedIn. You can directly message me over there. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.